In the news this week, Amazon submits their offer to purchase TikTok. Dancing with the Stars retools for the Trump era. New footage surfaces of Morgan Wallen leaving the SNL stage last week. That ain't God's country. On Amber's team tonight, he's a U.S. representative from California's 17th district, which includes Silicon Valley. We'll ask him if he can help me recover my iCloud password. It's Ro Khanna. And joining Michael, she's a writer and comedian who's been on NPR's Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. And at the end of this, we'll ask her which is the better comedy game show and why it's us. It's Karen Chee. Let's dig in. Biggest stories of the week. Amber and Ro, watch the clip. Tell me, what is the story?
Okay, this is Trump. I know him. That's the world. I live there. That motherfucker is the stock market.
A single-handed attempt to destroy the economy.
Pretty solid ass answer. The story is Liberation Day, a day so important that it got a special name, but not so important that we don't get the day off or a special cookout to celebrate it. Liberation Day fell on a Wednesday this year when Trump laid out a sweeping new tariff plan he says will restore fairness to world trade by adding a 10% surcharge on pretty much everything imported to America. But some folks had their own names for the big day.
It's Recession Day.
Could be Obliteration Day.
Call it a little bit more like Crash Test Day.
Hypertension Day, because it's going to give us all a heart attack.
I call the bash the heads in of your trading partners day.
Maybe we should call it Libation Day because, you know, Wall Street's all over the place. They might start hitting the sauce at 4 o'clock when they finally unveil this thing.
Maybe even sooner.
To his credit, Trump spared no expense as he broke down how much more Americans will be paying for imports.
67%, I think you can, for the most part, see it. Those with good eyes, with bad eyes. We didn't want to bring, it's very windy out here. We didn't want to bring out the big charts because it had no chance of standing. Fortunately, we came armed with a little smaller chart.
Why does Trump look like he's like ranking babes with Wayne and Garth back in the day? 14% to China, excellent. What R word is Trump using to describe these tariffs?
Don't ask Michael. Michael, don't you do it. Michael, do not do it. Michael, don't do it. Michael, pull yourself together.
Here's Trump with the answer.
In a few moments, I will sign a historic executive order instituting reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. Reciprocal, that means they do it to us and we do it to them. The tariffs will be not a full reciprocal. I could have done that. Yes, reciprocal, back and forth, back and forth.
You know when you learn a new vocab word and you're supposed to use it 4 times in the next hour to actually get it in your brain? That was the first time that man had ever heard that word.
How have Republicans been selling Americans on the big Liberation Day savings coming our way?
It's like, I'm gonna punch you in the face. You're gonna feel really bad right now, and then you'll feel better soon.
Here's the Republicans telling us how bad it's gonna hurt.
We've gone too long with the current scheme for there not to be some initial pain.
There's absolutely going to be short-term pain. The president's been clear about that. Everyone has.
But it's going to be a slow pain first before we get the gain.
He's right, man. I mean, we've had it too good in this country where we've been able to afford things. I'm sick of it, man.
The politicians are all worried about the tariffs, and that's just one group. How did Wall Street respond when it opened the next morning after the tariffs were implemented that Thursday night?
Instead of the opening bell, ding, 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 it was just a big old gong.
Wall Street's reaction was measured and calm. Here's what some other experts had to say.
Wall Street craters as the world reacts to President Trump's sweeping tariffs, the worst day for markets since 2020.
CNN's gauge of market fear, yeah, it looks like that. It's been off the charts all day.
JP Morgan raises the odds of a global recession to 60%. There will be blood.
This is very bad.
It is ugly out there.
It's a Pepto-Bismol moment.
Question, does anyone know the name the administration has for the countries that they think are ripping America off the worst?
The countries formerly known as our allies.
The Dirty 15.
The Dirty 15.
The Dirty 15.
How many countries comprise the Dirty 15 countries?
Boy, it has to be 15. I don't like it when we're this dumb.
That's where we're different. I like it better when we're this dumb. I'm going to say 23.
29 countries! The Dirty 15 actually refers to the 15% of 194 countries in the world that aren't America, so that's 29 countries. But actually, nobody really knows for sure because the administration has not given any clarity on who all the countries are.
I would like to file a motion that we be known as the Dirty Five.
Ooh.
Can't we be the Dirty 8? I mean,
Oh, yeah, that's better. The Dirty Eight, because there's 5 of us.
Now, we have all these tariffs in place from America. Question, what can countries affected by these changes do?
buy Trump's meme coin?
I feel like as a sitting congressman, I kind of want you to have a better response.
The whole country does.
What can other countries do to try and push back on this, or is this just bullying they have to deal with from the
Well,
US?
you know what they're doing? They're going to China. They're saying, okay, you don't want us, we'll go to China. You know how hard it is for someone to get Japan and South Korea to say we want to be friends with China? Donald Trump has done the impossible. China's going to nominate him for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick had his own answer to that question.
If you're angry and you fight back to the greatest customer in the world, you're going to lose. We are the sumo wrestler of this world. We are the biggest economy, the biggest customer. Okay. You can't fight back against your customer.
That just sounds like what white women say when they're getting dragged out the store. I own this Bath and Body Works.
Listen, as somebody named Karen, I can say you're absolutely correct.
And it wasn't just Lutnick who had something to say. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent had a reassuring message of his own.
Don't immediately retaliate. Let's see where this goes, because if you retaliate, that's how we get escalation.
I'm gonna punch you in the face, but don't punch me back. Because then we gonna be fighting. What happens if Trump's tariffs don't work and America ends up in a depression?
Well, that's kind of what was happening. I mean, the problem is that people have to start to speak out against them. You know, the amount of people who have capitulated, universities, law firms, banks, and it's not just Congress. At some point, people have to start speaking out.
If the depression hurricane is offshore, how close is it to landfall? Right?
Look, they went from we're in a solid economy to 15% of recession, 35% of recession. Now they're saying 60% recession. I don't understand how one person can destroy something so well. I mean, it takes talent to screw things up that badly.
Everybody else has opinions about if we're headed to a recession. Here's Pete Ducey's opinion on the matter.
If there is a plan to walk things back, if for some reason things are not working out as planned, they're not cluing us into that at this point. Plans. As the great Mike Tyson once said, I'm sure you're familiar with this quote, everyone
has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. Yeah. You thought I wouldn't know that. Did you see the joy in his face when he turned to me and said, "Oh, I'm sure you know this, Michael Ian Black."
You have no black friends. The morning the tariffs went into effect, the president posted, quote, "The operation is over, the patient lived, and is healing. The prognosis is that the patient will be far stronger, bigger, better, and more resilient than ever before. Make America great again." The patient also needs to get their ass up out this hospital because it costs $80,000 a day to stay. And if you're wondering whether or not Trump thought the plan worked, we all know that Trump thought the plan worked because he went golfing the very next day. So yeah, everything's going exactly to plan, or as Commerce Secretary Lutnick put it,
It is not a plan. We don't have a plan.